All right, let's do another song.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we just talked about the Tonight Show. We played a song called "Sexy After Dark" on there, so let's do that. I feel sexy after dark. My conscience finds it hard to say. I share pieces of my heart. Fewer words make me sound so smart. I'll let them slip out slowly, trading glances, clinking glasses till we part. I feel sexy after dark. You say that you're always gonna get your way, but I play I feel sexy after dark. Be any me I wanna be. Anticipation is a lost art. Saw it coming from the very start. You say you wanna go, my vision dances, locked in trances. Feel that spark. I feel sexy after dark. You say that you're always gonna get your way. I play I feel sexy after dark. My conscience finds it hard to say. I share pieces of my heart. Fewer words make me sound so smart. I feel sexy after dark.
Yeah, Sexy After Dark here on WNCW by Joshua Irway Walker. Yeah, good version of that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were on like I was saying, saw that on Jimmy Fallon, and that was a big moment for me to see on there and be like, wow, he was just on Fallon, and I get to follow up with this. How was it all? Was that like a big experience? How was it in the weight of things?
Yeah. I mean, the best part was it aired when we were in Dallas, so we got to have a big
Nice.
watching party at like our home bar. I've played a ton of shows at this place called the Double Wide. It's a dive bar in Deep Ellum. And we were going to leave for tour the next day, so we were all going to be in town. So we surprised everyone and showed up and played a show before the Tonight Show aired. And that was just one of the coolest moments, surprising everyone and then watching the show with everybody. And it was packed. And I've played shows there to like 12 people. So it was awesome to watch the city like come together. Everybody, you know, just a ton of people that I love and who love us that came out, and we just had a really good time. And then we got to leave for tour the next day, and we've been out for 3 weeks.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm glad you got to have that home base kind of moment before everything went on. And so I wanted to talk about your players coming off of that. Is guys, y'all have been playing together for a long time, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of the comments I was reading in there, and like that was what I wanted to talk about. Is you guys have been playing together for a really long time. So to set up the band, you got Billy Kirkendall on bass.
That's me. How's it going?
Pretty good. You got Ditch Kurtz on steel over there, and you got Trey Pendergrass on the drums. So how long have you guys been playing for together?
Billy and I guess it's going on 10 years.
Yeah.
We actually got asked to co-host like a songwriter night, and I lied and said that I'd played before. And so I played my songs in front of people for the first time at this thing that we co-hosted in 2012. And shortly after, started putting a band together. He became my first bassist, and it's been with me ever since. And then Trey plays with my producer, John Pedigo, and he introduced us. And I used to watch Trey play around town in Dallas, like since my early 20s. And so he hopped on about 5 years ago. And then I met Ditch on the road. He was playing with a band that I was opening for. And then first show was maybe 3 years ago?
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that, yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I love seeing the longevity, and you can tell because you guys are so tight. I mean, y'all are all
Thanks.
right there in that groove and pocket together, and you can tell that y'all are loving playing together. And congratulations on 10 years coming out of playing at the Double Wide to like 12 people to this moment. That's got to be a lot of like redemption and sweetness all at the same time.
I mean, the Double Wide, that was like 4 years in. It was way worse 10 years ago.
Well, it sounded fantastic here for
Thanks.
our WNCW listeners today. And you are playing, the band is playing at the Great Eagle in Nashville tonight. The doors are going to be at 7, and then the band starts at 8 p.m. And yeah, you'll be dressed up. You'll be looking nice.
It'll look great.
Oh, man, Asheville style. Wait till you see the audience.
Okay.
It's a different dress code in Asheville than the rest of the South, I think, is what I'm alluding to there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Awesome. Well, so one thing I wanted to hit on before we do the last song and walk on is Flash Paper and a little bit of that story. I heard on the Cosmic American Music Show with Brad Watson, who does honky tonk type music. He played that this past weekend on Saturday, and then he shared some of the story, and that sent me down the rabbit hole of finding out about your dad. And your dad passed away about a year and a half ago.
Right.
And the thing I wanted to talk about was that the first song on the first album of Wish You Were Here was Canyon.
Right.
And then you get the Flash Paper here, and Canyon was one that was talking about, I hope that he's proud of me. I saw a lot of emotion in that and kind of like a lot of unsaid things. And then with Flash Paper, I guess I'll let you tell the story so I'm not telling it for you, but.
Yeah, so, Canyon, you asked earlier if the last record was kind of like a closer, like a bookend, and it was. And it's funny, it ended up following, like my life ended up following the story arc of the albums as well. Like I opened up the first album with Canyon. I wrote that about my dad. He had been diagnosed with cancer, and we had an interesting relationship. We didn't bond very much. He was very like good old boy, buttoned up, type of guy, and liked fishing and driving a truck, and that was about it. And so we just didn't have a lot in common. And then I tried to make an effort to like be closer with him as I got older, and right when I did that, he got sick, and then they gave him like 6 months to a year. He lived like another 4 years, so super grateful for the extra time that I got with him. And then Flash Paper I wrote right after he passed away, and that ended up on the last record, the Goodbye record. So it's so funny how things work. And then Flash Paper, the song itself is like basically he gave me this cigar box of stuff, and I didn't know what it was. I had to kind of piece it together, but just a bunch of knickknacks. It looked like he cleared out his junk drawer, but it was like matchbooks from vacations and coordinates to his favorite fishing hole and a ribbon from like a reading competition when he was like in 5th grade, and just all that little stuff you hang on to that doesn't mean anything to anyone else. And then he put a flash drive in there with a video on it, and he told me not to watch it until Christmas. He had passed in November, and it was a goodbye video. And it was like, he said a lot of things that I wanted to hear, but it also made me angry and sad for him that he didn't feel comfortable saying those things while he was alive. And so a lot of mixed emotions went into that song, and I wrote it really quickly that night, like a couple nights later, and we went into the studio and cut it, and then I forgot how to play it, and now we play it out every once in a while. I bet we'll do it tonight. It's the last night of tour, so probably pull it out.
Yeah, that story. So I heard it on our airwaves here at WNCW, and this past Saturday, was the year anniversary of my dad's death. And he was a good old boy. He wasn't good at talking about his emotions. Like, he said, "I love you" a few times, but it wasn't his thing.
Right.
He was a Marine sergeant and all that stuff. So I that one gave me the feels.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely knew where you were coming from. And given that it's a 3-album arc, and that it starts with Canyon and ends with that, is just something that's kind of singular to me and kind of amazing that over that time that it mirrors your own life. It's art mirroring life, mirroring art, right? And
Yeah.
I love that. I think it's one of those signs that you really must be doing something perfectly right. The universe is calling you and telling you to do something, and it's sad, and there's some grieving in there, and it's all the other stuff that goes with it. But coming to do an interview with you here today, yeah, it made me feel good and like I was in a place where I needed to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So thank you for coming in and doing the session here. And
Of course.
good luck with the grieving process, and good luck with your
You
career.
too.
I think you're doing outstanding. So thanks for
you.
spending time with our listeners.
Of course.